Hey there! Welcome to Motorcycles and Misfits.
Who?
Coming to you from the Recycle Garage.
Where?
In Santa Cruz, California.
Why?
Because we had all the weathers today, so I don't have enough time to list
How
them all.
about that?
We had all the weathers. Hey everyone, this is Liza, and was I here last week? I keep taking...
Yes, you were.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was the week before,
Oh, my
darling,
gosh,
that
yes.
you were with Haley and Child.
That's right. Well, I have stories for this week, but let's get to who's here, because we've got some special guests in here.
Like me.
But has everyone been here before? Okay, yeah, everyone's been here, but we got a full room. So let's get to it. Over at the beginning, we've got Neil.
Hey there, everybody.
You're on the opposite side of the room. It's a different perspective, isn't it? Yeah,
It
I'm still
is.
tired.
It is. It is very strange. I'm usually, like smelling distance from naked Jim, but best person in the world, a super adventure person is keeping me company right here.
Ooh. Well, why don't I'll let you introduce the next person then?
Sitting next to me on my left is super adventure Scottie.
Hello. Yeah, thank you, Neil.
Ooh,
And-
I kind of like this.
And to my left, I have Commander Uncle Liza.
It's me.
C'est vous.
It's me. And on my left, it's the I'm trying to think of a really good word, but the intriguing
Mais oui.
Miss
Inimitable.
Emma.
Bonjour tout le monde. Bonjour. C'est moi, Emma. And à ma droite, c'est Freya. Say hello, Freya.
In the mic.
Hello, Freya.
I see what you did there. Freya, darling, who's sitting to the side of you? Who is that? Is that-
Mike.
No, that's Daddy.
Okay.
Can we all call him Daddy now? I kind of like that.
Yeah, I'll take
Daddy.
that. I'll take that
It's
name.
Big
Daddy
Daddy.
3 times.
It's Big Daddy.
Daddy
Big
Mike.
D. Big D.
No, Freya.
Big Daddy Mike.
Yeah, let's stay. Listen,
And
I don't know where she gets her sense of humor from. It's definitely not me.
Okay.
Might be from the garage. Mike, do you know who is next to you?
The Muffin Man.
I didn't know if you've known. This is
The
Sophia.
Muffin
Hi,
Man.
Sophia.
Hi, Mike.
And Sophia is quiet.
Oh,
It's
do I have to
quiet
talk louder into the mic now?
Yeah, there
Okay,
you go.
Cool. Hello.
And of course, we can never forget Bagel.
Yes, it's
They-
me.
They got
And-
stickers that say
Coming
never
to you
forget
from
Bagel.
afar.
Yeah, well, how are things in Velveeta, Bagel?
It's very springy up here.
Cheesy. No
yeah.
doubt.
But yeah, we're getting lots of rain and warmer weather, which has been kind of a surprise.
Oh, fantastic. Okay.
Yeah, we had like beautiful summer weather a couple days ago, and now today it's windy with showers in the morning. It's all the things.
Yeah, 4 seasons in a day.
But you know what?
darling.
Still can't complain because I rode yesterday because we get to ride year round. In fact, I wanted to get right into it. I did some riding this week.
Yeah.
Was it in a
Mm.
Jeep?
I did take the Jeep out, but no,
No
that was
way.
not it. That was not it.
We're not doing Jeep talk with Uncle Liza. We are not
no.
doing that. No.
Don't-
No.
Well, interestingly enough,
Don't
we have
threaten us with a good time.
we have Freya here to talk about her experience as a new young rider and learning to ride bikes. She's been riding, but
From scratch.
from scratch, but keeps progressing to bigger and bigger bikes. So in fact, I got to go back to basics and I took the beginner riding class this week.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, I was
Do you know how you did?
I bet you failed.
Yeah, you
so
failed.
the reason
Failure.
the reason I did this is because I'm working on getting my certification to be a instructor. And one of the requirements is that you have taken the classes that you will be teaching. And since I am old and there were no classes when I learned to ride, I've never taken a riding
Oh,
class.
wow.
I'm old school back in the day where here's a permit, go out in the streets and learn and good luck.
I resemble that.
Yeah, there wasn't even a helmet law then either.
Mm.
So I was a bit concerned going in. Would I enjoy it? Would I be able to would I be constantly reminded of bad habits? Sophia, you took the
Yeah.
new rider class not too long ago. You're a new rider yourself.
Yeah.
So you've experienced where they start from the basics.
Yep. They go over it on Zoom first.
Mm-hmm. How to do everything. And so
Like a written course kind of a thing.
it's just a classroom. Yeah, where here's all the controls and here's equipment and here's gear, just kind of
And
informing
friction,
you.
stuff we take for granted, like the friction zone.
Then you get out there and you
Friction zone's
you
your
learn
friend.
the clutch friction zone and how to just waddle and move the bike around. But here's where I struggled. As we start moving and everyone in the class, there was some people who knew how to ride already, dirt bikes, or a guy who was coming from another country, just needs to get his license here, So they're all pretty much picking it up quick. We didn't have any slow learners. But I was being told, here's what we need to see as an instructor, what we need to see you do. When you go into a turn, we all know how to go into a turn. It all just kind of happens seamlessly. But they're like, no, I need to see you. And the first step was slow down, so brake. And then I need to see you position your body to one side, then turn your head, then push on the bars and turn.
Like
They
So
have
it's
an
boom,
acronym
boom,
for that.
boom.
SPAT.
Spat.
Speed, position, aim, turn.
Right, which I'm not good at those things. For me, it was brake, lean, look, whee. But that was hard because I wasn't always doing the steps. I would just do them, just go into a turn. It's like, no, I need to see you do all the things. Okay. And then when I'm like, he's like, and I need to see you exaggerate. I need to see you turn your shoulders and look.
Like a car driving test.
So I'm turning my shoulders, but then my knee is swinging out because I'm turning my, nope, we have not introduced move the knee yet.
Oh.
The knee has to be against the tank. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm just trying to go around and do these four things, things.
It's like a game of Simon Says.
Right. And
You have to,
then I'm going
you're
around.
breaking good habits.
And I understand, like he wasn't being an ass. Like, it was actually Charlie's good friend who I know, and he's a very good instructor. So I was appreciating because my job was to try and be exemplary, not just to like do it, but to be exemplary. So I appreciated that he's telling me, here's what they want to see.
Yeah, because you can't cut corners because you're straight up teaching people who don't know anything.
Right.
Yeah.
And so then I'm going around and I'm constantly catching up to the group. So I pull the clutch in so I can feather the clutch out through the turn. He goes, nope, we have not introduced clutch control yet. No clutch. Like, ugh. So now I'm like going in and everyone's going slow. So it's just engine braking. He's like, I didn't see you touch the brake. I'm like, it engine braked. No, I need to see you touch the brake. So then I
They're
go
looking
and
for your brake light.
I brake and then I accelerate out, but it's like, jerking out. And I'm like, I really want to use the clutch. He goes, no clutch. And so he's like, you need to learn throttle control. Like, and so that was hard to deconstruct all the moves.
You failed, didn't you?
And to be able to do them.
Failed. Oh, no.
The other thing that I found was hard was the braking test. So, Sophia, you remember the braking
The
test, right?
emergency brake one?
Yeah, so you get up to 50 miles an hour, and then as soon as your front wheel reaches this cone, you have to give all the brakes and stop as
I've
quick
done
as you
that
can.
with Freya, but with
Yeah.
tape.
Stop as quick as you can. So I'm stopping shorter distance than anyone else.
Right.
But he's like, no, you can do it harder. You can do it harder. Okay. I feel like I'm slamming on the brakes. But I think as experienced riders, we very quickly learn the bike's kind of limits and then learn, like we lock in, here's where those limits are. So I feel like my brain had locked it in because I hit the ABS on the front one time where I went, skipped, and then my brain goes, come back further. So I'm telling myself, grab the brakes, but my
Right.
brain is only letting me go to that point.
What bike were you riding?
Interestingly enough, the Harley Davidson 350.
Oh, neat.
Oh, okay. So you're doing
This is
on
why I
their
took the
bike.
class
Yeah,
there
yeah,
because these are bikes that they haven't released in the US,
yeah.
but they're using in the training. So I wanted to try it. It looks like a little flat track racer, good looking bike. So that was hard because he kept going, nope, you can do it harder. You can do it harder. But I feel like I'm stopping in like 5 feet, But I asked him, what is it that you're seeing that, because I feel like I'm slamming. He goes, I can tell that your suspension is not bottomed out. Like he knows it should bottom.
Did they have
And I'm not-
a zip tie on it?
No, but he saw somebody else, like it went all the way to the bottom. And so I'm like, okay, fair enough. He's actually looking for something. So I found that hard because I'm like, my body has locked in. Here's the limits, and it won't let me grab too much brake.
That's interesting.
Because I think that's what we do as experienced riders. We quickly assess a bike and adjust our brain to it. And now we know how much throttle and how much clutch and how much brake, right?
Yeah. So
to undo that learning was really hard. So you do the class all day, and then it's for 2 days, and it's I mean, you're out there all day. Did you find it tiring, Sophia, when you did it?
Mostly just because they had to wake up so early, but
Yeah.
it went by pretty quickly because it was quite fun.
Yeah.
For me.
I mean, it's like 8 to 5. It's a long day. I enjoyed riding the little bikes. They were fun.
I mean, do they ride good? Because they look good.
I mean, for a 350, sure. I mean, is it as zippy or powerful as a Ninja 400 or
No, of course
a
not.
DRZ 400?
No, but if you compare
No.
it to a Royal Enfield 350
Exactly.
or
Yeah, exactly.
even a Rebel 300.
Exactly. And you know what I found interesting? Because it is a Chinese-made bike. The key and a lot of the fasteners were the exact match to my Benelli. So I'm wondering if it's QJ that's making them.
Probably.
Because they own Benelli. So I was hoping that Prema could come on the show, because after you take this test, he pulls everyone aside and he gives people critique and lets them know if they passed or not. And so I said, save it. I don't want to know. I want you to tell me on the show. And then he couldn't come on the show.
So he told you anyway.
So you still don't know?
So I don't know. But
Oh.
he said I passed. And he
Oh,
said
oh.
there was one thing I didn't do right. But I don't know what the one thing is. Because I really did try. I did try. I appreciated his teaching was very good.
Right.
So I didn't feel like I was being critiqued. I was being told, this is what you need to show as an instructor.
Right. And remember,
So I need to be exemplary. That was my goal.
Right. And remember that all of the students that you teach
Right.
will become little mirror images of you and how you ride. So you have to get the method down pat, 100%.
Yes. So I passed, but
Congratulations.
it was hard. That was hard. It was hard in ways I wasn't expecting, but it was enjoyable in ways I wasn't expecting. I enjoyed riding those bikes around, but I wanted to go faster. And that was a problem a lot of times too. He's like, no, we haven't gotten up to that speed yet. It's like, oh.
Because Colleen
Oh.
kept telling me to go faster. I had the
I know.
opposite problem.
Well, before we get to our special guest, little Miss Princess Freya, I wanted to announce our winner. We had a contest.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, Emma, I'll hand you the sheet.
Yeah, thank you, darling.
So, if you guys remember, we had the S100 contest for the dirtiest bike and dirtiest rider, and we had a bunch of people send in their submissions. And we have, thanks to S100, 4 kits, like they're the whole kits with all the cleaning supplies in them. Sorry, Bagel, you didn't get to choose, but Emma, I think I know we have 3 clear winners, and then you need to find the 4th winner.
I do indeed. So we'll deal. Hang on. Where? Oh, yeah. Here we go. We're going to deal with the 3 clear.
And you can share it with Freya, Mike.
Yes. So,
Is it dirtiest?
Tell me.
no, settle down,
there he is.
child. So our first clear winner is from Alan's 3. Oh, God, it's disgusting. Hi, Liza and other misfits. For my photo of a dirty motorcycle and rider that needs serious cleaning with S100, see my photo. That photo was taken during a dirt motorcycle race. I think the track was muddy that day. Good thing is I didn't have to haul him back home.
Oh my god.
That is a disgusting
That is
Let's see,
motorcycle.
show it
pretty
to
rough.
the room.
And
Show it to the room.
yeah, show that around, because that is disgusting.
So a whole ecosystem
over.
on 2 wheels. I
Yeah.
saw that
Yeah.
photo earlier.
Petri dish.
Oh, yeah.
Rolling swamp.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
What?
That looks like that guy was in the Airsbury.
Oh.
Congratulations, Alan, being one of our winners. I'll be
Yeah,
sending a kid out.
So
Alan.
this next one is from Mike Strang.
Hey, Mike.
A few pics from the past. One lap of GNCC Ironman 2019. Single pic of my daughter after a race. And this is a picture of Brooke.
Show me.
So I chose a picture of his daughter after a race.
Brooke is a dirty girl. Oh,
Ugh.
what I particularly enjoyed is you can see the caked mud. You can't even see the engine anymore on this bike. It is a solid cow pat.
Wow. Is that a KTM?
All right. Congratulations.
I think
It's an Adobe.
yeah, it's an Adobe of some description. And the last one is
the third one.
The third one, yes, this is just the third one of the dirtiest, is our very own Tad.
Our very own Tad on his DRZ.
And that is quite filthy.
What do you think, Freya? Does he look dirty?
Nah.
Yep. Dirty bike, dirty rider. That's a good day.
Now, we are coming to the rest. And hello.
And I wanted to say thank you to everyone who sent in their submissions. Some of them were people just sharing pictures of their bikes. And I just want to remind everyone, it was for the dirtiest bike and rider. So
honourable mentions here are from Bill Koch and honorary member of Emma's Army. Yes. Thanks, Emma. Yes, blah, blah, blah. He's actually got some clean bikes. So hang on, let me have a look at his pictures. And very nice too. Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Emma, this is riveting for a podcast.
No. So,
riveting radio.
So Bill writes, hey all, as of episode 597 in October, I became an honorary member of Emma's Army.
Thank
Emma, when you read my email about my return to riding after 40 years. As part of that army, I now don't give a fuck about living by the rules. Thanks, Emma. Ha ha. So to that end, I don't have a dirty bike, and that's quite clear. Never had a dirty bike, and I don't plan on ever having a dirty bike. Still, I want to represent those that work to keep that thing clean. So back in the day, I do as now I do as well. So he's attached a picture of him in 1980 with a CB360T. And I swear...
That's the bike I had.
Yeah, exactly.
In the 80s.
He looks like... who was that guy who'd hang out with the grizzly bears?
Oh.
Grizzly Adams.
Grizzly Adams.
Yes, there's Grizzly Adams there. Somewhat grayer, and he's hanging out with his MT-07 now. So I don't know if I qualify for your contents, but I just want to show that I don't give a shit about your rules. And that sometimes just keeping it clean is the way to go. Thanks for my new attitude, Emma, from William.
Right.
I like that email. However, we are dealing with dirty bikes. So Howardian has sent us pictures of his current fleet, and he sent a photo of my current motorcycle collection. Nothing flashy. He's got a KLR in there, an XR, CR, TTR, blah, blah, blah. He recently dug a motocross track on some vacant land using one of those Temu mini excavators.
Ooh, Mike,
nice.
you don't have a Temu excavator yet.
No, I don't.
But you've dug some tracks.
No, I do have a
Wouldn't you know it, I've got a 90-day moto streak going on with no end in sight. I was even riding when we had 6 inches of snow on the ground. This much riding means washing bikes, cleaning chains, and doing general maintenance on a daily basis. I've allowed some dirt build-up on the photo, but I mostly stay on top of it, and the bikes clean up quickly. I'd love the chance to try S100, as I've never used a motorcycle-specific cleaning product. I find myself cleaning up some pretty gross old dirt bikes when rescuing them from Avenue Craigslist. Thanks for the awesome podcast, sincerely, Ian. And his bikes are quite clean. So,
but who's the winner? Who's the winner?
Honorable mention, Jason in Seattle also gets an honorable mention, and he sent a nice close-up of a very crusty fork leg.
Dirty fork leg.
Also, is
that one's got style.
No, exactly. We got a email here from Christopher, and when I take a break from Dirty House projects, I get on my dirty bike for a break in the dirty woods outside my home on my dirty dirt bike. Chris, and Just for the attitude displayed in the photo, you get an honourable mention,
You know what?
Chris.
He looks clean, but I think he's got a dirty mind.
I think he's got dirty boxers on because he is wearing his boxers and that smile on that face. So you get an honourable mention. However, the fourth
winner.
The fourth winner.
Oh, I think I know. Is it the cat turd?
Yes, it's Jeremy. It's our own dear Jeremy. And hello, Misfits. This is from Jeremy Couch. Hello, Misfits. As the 2024 award winner of the dirtiest bike at the Misfits Rally, I would like to put in for the S100 giveaway.
Mm-hmm.
I will admit that the picture is not impressive. However, Liza inspected my bike in person and found it to be the best mess in attendance. I still proudly display my trophy, which is a Coke bottle full of dirt and what appears to be a cat turd shoved into it. I think, actually, it
Nothing
was
but the best.
yeah,
one of
it's
our
a trophy
trophies we
with a
made.
cat turd.
That's better
yes.
than the trophies we had.
No, these are the trophies that we made in the garage.
I
Oh my God, okay.
contend
Yeah.
that this prestigious
Coke bottle
award
with a
should...
cat turd in it.
Like the
Was
smoking
it a cat
helmet.
turd or was it a...
I don't know.
Yes. I contend that this prestigious award should at least put me in the running. I earned that dirt, Jeremy. And there's a picture of Jeremy with his dirty bike. What do you think of that, Freya? He's quite dirty, isn't he?
There you go. We got 4 winners.
So we got our 4 winners. And,
He doesn't look that dirty.
well, he's pretty dirty.
And by
though.
cat dirty, you mean poop?
Yeah, cat
Yes.
poop.
Yeah.
Yes, cat poopy.
Well, thank you to everyone who participated. Big
Yeah.
thanks to S100. I pulled out they sent us a case of the spray bottles of the S100 Total Motorcycle Cleaner, and Charlie and I were cleaning our bikes today. Spray on, rinse off.
And they both appear cleaner to me.
Yeah.
They got in the
we're
nooks and
the rest of the
crannies.
case we're gonna be giving away at our rally coming up in April. So come join us for the Misfits Rally.
It's around the corner.
Yeah. But instead, I would like to talk about someone else who's also been learning how to ride.
Who?
That would be you.
That's you, Freya.
So,
Okay.
Mike, I'll let you take in a sec, but I just wanted to say, Freya, what is your earliest memory here at the garage? By any chance, do you remember your first visit to the garage? Do you know how old you were?
No.
So,
How many hours old was she, Mike?
I think she was like maybe 52 hours old.
yeah.
52?
Yeah, mom's ankles were still swollen.
However,
Before you went home, Mike brought you to the garage.
I remember.
However, there is a picture in the calendar of the Misfits, and Marie has Freya in her tummy.
Yeah.
So it's before you were actually part of the Misfits, before you were even born, and you came down here when you were like 2 days old.
Yeah, we have a picture of her the day that we came home from the hospital, and Marie, I snuck it in. Where are we going? Oh, we're like, I'm just going to take it a long road. We've been in the hospital for 3 days, and then we pulled into the garage. She's like, what the hell are you doing? And I pull her out of the car seat, and I hold her up, and everybody comes up. Remember Cats? Remember when they play that?
Yes,
and all
the Lion
and
King.
and all the hands are up like this. It was
Yeah.
like the Lion King.
Yeah, it's like
Mufasa.
the Lion King.
I'll never forget that day. The first thing you ever did was go to the motorcycle garage
So
when you were born.
Yeah, you were born for this. So, Freya, how old are you now?
8.
All right. So she's been coming to the garage for 8 years. That's longer than most of you.
Yeah.
She's
yeah.
a member. Card carrying.
Veteran.
So, Mike, you've been working with Freya and training her and starting from about a strider and going up. She's as soon as she could, you've had her on 2 wheels. So you wanted to talk about her journey and her progress riding.
Yeah.
So why don't you take it from here? Because you also have a guest you brought in.
Yes, we do. Yeah, so basically, and then Liza told me that nobody knows who I am on the podcast anymore. So I'm Mike. How you guys doing?
Mikey 3
Like
times.
it 3 times. I still got the awards. But yeah, and I was stoked because I've been wanting Freya to come in for a while because I was just to suppose that like most people who had been listening to the podcast for quite some time would be interested, right? And they'd like hear me talking about her for over the years, and all of a sudden now she's like able to actually talk and like
I was always able to talk
interact
and stuff.
with motorcycles and stuff like that. So I just thought it'd be like an interesting thing. And this is like when we came here last time, I was like asked her if she wanted to come back because she's been doing a lot of work with me in motorcycling for a couple of years now. And it's crazy because when I talk to people and they're like, oh, check it out, this is Freya riding. And they're like, what? How old is she? And I'll tell her and I'll be like, oh, she's been riding since she was 4. And they're like, what?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, but your kid, you throw them in shark infested waters on a surfboard when they're 3 and like took pictures. So like, why am I crazy? You know what I mean? Right? Or like sent them down a mountain bike thing with no gear on. Like, so I don't think it's crazy to have 15 motorcycles. I mean, if I was a surfer, I'd have 15 boards. So
There you go.
anyway, yeah, she's been doing really good. And like another thing is too, a lot of the things that I like to do, Marie doesn't like to do all of them,
Mhm.
but the kids like to have adventures, and half of it, like pretty much anything I do with motorcycles, there's always really cool people, really beautiful places, and just, you know, stuff that you really wouldn't get to experience as a person who doesn't ride. And I figure while she's young enough, I'd like to take her, but there's definitely risks involved with riding.
Yeah, and you've gone through the steps from starting out little striders to also having her just sitting on the tank of your bike and
Yeah.
experience that.
Oh, yeah.
And your second kid, Elva, too.
Yeah.
So Freya, do you remember like sitting on the tank and riding around on some of the bikes? Is that fun for you when you're little?
I don't remember.
Okay, fair enough. But then you also started getting her little bikes
Mhm.
and getting her, and this is something not many people do that I want to make sure we talk about. You've been getting her professional instructions.
Yeah. So she's been doing, like, I bring her into classes. So one of the things is that, like, the way that I've been working with her to like learn how to ride, Marie got pissed because she could ride a motorcycle before she could ride a bike. And I said to her, I was like, oh, it's fine. Don't worry about it. As soon as we put her on a bike, she couldn't figure out what the pedals did, but she was looking for the throttle. You know what I mean? It was so funny. And as soon as she she realized that the pedals make it move, she didn't need to be learned how to ride a bicycle. She knew how to do it. So
Because she had the balance.
that's right. And to your point, we started her with the Stasic electric motorcycle. She had a balance, but it has the little battery and it's variable speed. You can adjust it. And one of the things that I saw, because I had seen one of my friends try to teach their kid how to ride, and they were yelling at him like a dad, like, oh, you're not doing it, you know, and getting frustrated. And it wasn't fun for the kid. So like I figured the approach would be a little bit different. And I've definitely helped a lot of people learn how to ride, but children are a little bit different, I think. You have to have a lot more patience and think of a way that makes it fun and not a chore. And so one of the things we would do is I'd set up obstacles in the yard. And one of the most common things I see are problems with children is that they stare at the ground, or, you know, they're more worried about the operation of the vehicle than they are their surroundings. And even if they ride a bunch, they're still like worried about the vehicle than looking around. So I figured like a fun way to do it was we would play Freya. Do you remember what game we play in the front yard when I put up the obstacles? What animal was I?
The chicken?
Yeah, and you were the lion. So I would run around the yard on my bike and it'd say, you can't catch me. And then I would go through these obstacles. And what would happen is she would target fixate on me, but it wouldn't be the ground in front of her. And all of a sudden, like, it was a different person riding. Like, she was operating and doing all the operational stuff.
Stumpy John and I play a similar game called Catch the Weasel, and I've now realized
Called Hide the Wiener.
that's could just sound a little weird.
Oh, no, that's wrong.
Hot dog. The hot dog.
Yes, there you go. That's
Hot
bad.
dog.
No, Freya. So anyway,
Hot dog?
the hot dog, like hot dog.
I'll take
you
a
know.
bagel also.
Bagel's here. He's sitting right there.
Hello.
So anyway, we're doing all this stuff,
Is it
and
crusty?
yes, it is crusty.
Bagel, you're crusty.
Yeah,
What do you have to say about that, hey?
Guilty as charged.
Don't change your short, darling.
But
It's because he's everything.
yeah, well,
Yes.
He's an everything bagel.
No,
I'm crunchy like that.
I think it's more inclined to do with his seedy nature.
but as she got better, I would get her things that went a little bit faster. But like, you know, one of the things I know is like stopping is the first thing you should learn is like how to use like the brake. And like to your point, we would do that thing in the yard where I'd put tape in. I'd say, go as fast as you can. When you get to this line, stop. And you know, of course, you'd go past the second line. But the game was to like stop before the second line to learn how to like control the brake.
Mm-hmm.
Just stupid things. And it would be like for her, sometimes I'd have to be like, I'll give you a cookie if you can do 5 times in a row. And
Yeah.
and it works.
I love it.
But all of a
Better
sudden,
than a
like they're
bagel.
like, okay, you know what I mean? Like and-
Motivation.
yeah. And so but there's definitely a limitation to my experience, but also like my ability to teach. She has done an off-road training course, you know, local here too, which is pretty good. But there was a huge group there the 2 times that she went when she was 4. And then she went again last year when she was 7. And the training was good, but there wasn't too much of an individualized approach. And it was just like, all right, everybody, here's what's happening. Do it. And then come back and like, hey, now we're doing this. And like, whether you got it or not, there's not enough time to really, get you dialed in. And the other thing is that's really important to me, Freya.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you ride dirt bikes?
Yeah.
Do you ride race bikes?
Yeah.
Anything 2 wheels, right?
Or 3.
How was the school up in the mountains that we
4.
went to?
Or 5.
Yeah, you rode my truck too, but how was the dirt bike course we went to up in the mountains close to home?
It was fine.
Do you
Yes.
prefer riding on pavement or on dirt?
Pavement
Okay.
Yeah, she's a real road racer. But
and dirt.
yeah, remember the hill? You were getting scared going down the hill?
No, it wasn't.
Yeah. I have video of her when she was 4, just making her own lines. Like they were like everybody going around in a circle, and here she is in her little PW50 just cutting people, like 0 F's given about who's around. So but yeah, the whole sole purpose of it is that I like to go to the racetrack and I like to go travel and do stuff. And I'm hoping that she'll have enough confidence in herself to be able to do these things with me. Like we go to the races every year in Texas, and I like her to keep doing things. So, but the more instruction she can get, the better. And then I kind of reach a limitation. So, with that being said, I have a friend of mine who we've been riding with a lot recently, and I'll introduce him. He's on the podcast now. It's Hawk Mazzotta. Hey, Hawk.
What's happening, guys? Can you hear
Hey,
me?
how's it going?
Look how handsome he is. You see that?
No, he's very.
Don't look him in the eye. He's too
Yeah.
handsome.
He's a very handsome
What's up,
man.
guys?
So I'm going to give everybody, just let everybody know. I told Hawk, I said, give me your stats this morning. And then as 3 pages of everything he's accomplished in his life came through this morning, I was like, oh my God, I don't have 2 hours to go over all the accomplishments. But,
So you'd say he's qualified to teach children?
oh my God, yeah.
Okay.
I'll give you a couple of quick things. So yeah, Hawk's 43. He lives in Reading. He's got a school.
Wait, is this a singles ad?
No. And he likes long walks on the beach. But yeah, he's been racing since he's 15 years old. He has a mutual friend of mine, Alice Salaveria, who's also a champion and who got him into riding years ago. He's been doing he started club races in 125 class. And then he was doing that from 97 to, I think it's 99. He got into AMA Super Sport. He got hurt at Daytona racing. Then he rode, for a couple more years. He shattered his ankle. He rode Superstock 750 for Jason Pridemore. And then he looks like he took a break for a couple of years from 03 to 07. And then he came back to AMA racing 600 Super Sport, top 12, won Daytona 8-hour.
Emma, have you ever been on the bank at Daytona?
I haven't raced it.
She robbed the bank in Daytona.
I want to know what that's like.
Well, Hawk will tell you he's going. in a
Well,
week or
yeah,
two.
you've got a guy here who's raced
two.
it.
Yeah. So then, let's see, 08, he raced AMA Superbike top 10. 09, raced AMA Superbike top 7. Third Daytona 8-hour. 2010 Superbike top 10. And then he took another break for about 10 years and did, normal stuff, like family stuff and, job and this and that. Then he came back and rode 10 years later in 22, raced the Baggers and the Supermoto. Then he raced Baggers and the Hooligan Air Cooled Champion.
Oh,
2004, he raced Hooligans. And then 2005, this year, he's in the Hooligan Championship again. And I met Hawk last year. So that is who's on the podcast now and who Freya's been
So,
training.
Hawk, it sounds like if it has wheels, you're on it.
Yeah, I love everything motorcycles.
Yeah.
Passion. I grew up on a cattle ranch. Started on a 3-wheeler.
Ooh, the death trap.
Yeah, the best. Just growing up on motorcycles, 3-wheelers, it was always just a fun tool, to go on the ranch, check cattle, mess around, get in trouble on. And yeah, anything 2 wheels related. I love it. Like you all probably, just the passion, it's come to, after all the years in and out of it, organically to be a career again. Which I'm stoked and passionate, be able to do something I love.
Well, it seems like with the baggers, a lot of people have gotten a extension on their career. Yeah, that's been really cool. But I want to know, what's it like riding the wall at Daytona?
It's to me, it's one of my favorite tracks, and if you drive it when you drive into that place, it's something I suggest everyone does. It's incredible. You drive from the outside, this Coliseum, it's just massive, and then you drive under the tunnel to get in. It's the only way to get in, and it's just like a city. I mean, it is so big and intimidating. And you feel the energy, and so when you're not riding it at 200 mile per hour, it is extremely steep. I mean, if you get out and walk it, you're
freezing.
Oh, he froze.
It's all, but when you're on it, it's you don't feel it as much. You feel it because the forces. You're on if the bank is like this,
It's insane.
and you're on the banking at lean
And
angles.
leaning.
Forces are really pushing you. Into the wall, or into the gas tank. So you feel that part. Otherwise, it's not a big deal.
I feel like there's there's got to be nothing else like that. I mean, there's no bank
I've had
turns,
it,
and
yeah.
But don't you have some instruction like where you learn to ride, but also golf at the same time?
What? Golfing while you're riding?
Yeah.
Bike polo.
Wasn't there some sort of like golfing instruction that you got while you were riding?
I don't think
Keep
so.
your eye on the ball?
No, somebody was like shooting balls at him and trying to.
Oh gosh. Kenny Roberts. Yeah. Hitting balls at us. Oh yeah.
I had to tell a story.
That's all. So your guys are out on the track, and he's just swinging balls and trying to hit the riders.
Handful of things as we're talking about instruction and having Freya on it's like the things you never forget, and it's those memories as a young adult when I started racing at 15, 16. They're the things I never forget, and one of them was Kenny Roberts. I went out to Kenny Roberts Ranch to train with Kenny Jr. and Curtis, and we were on little XR100s, hitting the TT track, spinning laps, riding, what we thought was really hard, riding our ass off. And Kenny's out there watching us in his sun hat, shorts, white tennies, and he walks out on the track and flags us down. He's like, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" And he's like, "Get off that." And he hops on it, in his shorts, and throws down a couple heaters. He's like, "See, that's how you do it." And, it was some hot laps. Like, holy cow. And so he'd be sitting there watching us ride and chipping golf balls at you. I mean, or like driving golf balls at you, no bullshit. But it was that hard, with everything's with the balance, but it was that hard back in the day mentality. I mean, he's the best in the world. And, I appreciated it, I had tough skin and I loved it. You'd take a golf ball off your chest or something, and you didn't slow down.
Now, could you tell if it were a hook or a slice?
Oh, man, it all felt horrible. It all felt really bad.
Jeez. Did you at least have armor on?
No, I don't think any of us had back protectors, chest protectors. Back then it was like you're on 100. You just But
Mike,
man,
I'd like to volunteer if you've got a bunch of kids out training. I'll bring out like an airsoft or something.
Just start AR, walking at the kids.
Apparently, that's how you teach them.
Yeah.
These days, I don't think we can get away with it.
Yeah. Well,
it's changed a little bit,
Yeah. So I wanted to just to mention why I asked Hawk to come here, because he's been training with Freya, and also his school's up in Reading. It's quite a bit of ways. It's a little bit past Underhill for us, but I had met him a few times, like briefly, and I don't know if he remembers our interaction, but I remember seeing him. He was sponsored by Indian last year, right? Was it? In Trackhouse this year. So Trackhouse is a NASCAR team that also has a MotoGP team that they did pretty good. I don't know if you saw the races today, but yeah, I think fourth. And and then they also picked up Hawk this year too, which is unbelievable. But last year I ran into him at a track event, and we're talking, and I don't know what he thought, what most people think when they interact with me, but I was like really excited. And he's like, "Yeah, okay." And he's like, "Yeah, I do." I started talking about my kids and Freya, and he's like, "Yeah, I do a school. Like, if you want to call me, like, we'll figure it out." And like the problem with me is like when you say that, like I do it. Like, I'm not from here. So I'm like, you're like, oh, you want me to fly to like, New Guinea and do this? Yeah, I'll be there. And like, I'll fucking be there. So, I was really excited about it. And then I'd run into him again last year at Laguna, while he was setting up to race, for Moto America. And then after that, I said, like, can we connect and we can get Freya out there, because I wanted her to break past a little bit more. And I noticed that she loves education. She's really good with instruction and education. But I figured that it was like trying to teach my wife how to drive. There's definitely a limit to what she's going to listen to from me.
Freya, who do you like learning from better, Hawk or Daddy? You can be honest. Who do you like taking instructions from?
Hawk.
There it is.
So yeah, anyway, he was like, yeah, come on up. And we went up to the ranch and spent the weekend there. And he's so chill for the amount of things that like he's accomplished. And the ranch is amazing. And the instruction was even better. And one of the things that I like to do is just step back and not get involved and let them have their process.
So I've got a question for you, Hawk. I mean, is this instruction specifically geared for children? Or is this like adult instruction and children just happen to be able to pick up on it?
It's for all ages and all skill levels. So when I started my own business here in 2019.
Okay.
And how it really started was I had taught in the past for like Star School, Jason Pridmore, Skip Barber School, and I taught for some years, and I love teaching. I love that part of it. But how it really started was my son at the time, now he's 11. Through his school, a lot of people just knew that I race motorcycles, I ride motorcycles, my son rides, and so I had a lot of parents always come up to me saying, "Hey, how do I this and how do I get into it and what bike?" And so, although I considered, starting a school or a track day organization several times over the years, I never did. And I was like, you know what, I got to do this. So over a couple bottles of wine with my wife, we really just said, okay, let's dig deep and let's bust out and get it all in place. So we did so in 2019. And so with that said, it really started with the kids. That's, that was my focus. And that's the need.
Right. And there are very special techniques when you teach children.
Yeah, cookies apparently come into play.
Ask Freya what the first thing is that you learn. Freya, what's the first thing as soon as you get out and we're going to start riding with Hawk, what's the first thing you guys do?
She's thinking. She's thinking.
Damn, you got to think that hard? You've done it multiple times. This is why I don't.
And is this, I just want to ask, is this, Freya, are you doing dirt or asphalt when you're training?
Dirt.
So you're doing dirt?
So when you get your leg over the bike and Hawk's lined up there with you and Dom and Nate, what's the first thing that you guys do? What does he go over with you?
What you need to check before you ride the bike.
And what's that?
Yep.
Tire pressure.
And?
Brakes.
Yep.
Stuff.
Axle nut?
Yeah, so check your bike.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, like in every single time. And it was just interesting to me that like the safety portion of it, it's like the first thing that they go through. And then what's the next thing when you guys start riding that you work on, Freya? What's the next thing you guys start working on with Hawk? Like once you get on the track, what do you guys work on first? Okay. Hawk, what's the next thing that you guys work on?
Yeah.
Freya, I'll tell you what though. Hey, Freya, what's so cool about working with kids in general is that they're all so different.
Cool.
Freya's rad. Yes, first of all. Freya is so cool. She's very unique. And what I like about working with Freya is I've worked with thousands of kids, and some, it's just kids. I've got kids. I love kids. But some kids are a pain in the ass, period. Some, are very soft, which it's fine. You have to adapt to the child.
Right.
Some are extremely soft, and you see it within the parents. And it's like, okay, and you got to work around it. And so I've dealt with all. What's cool with Freya is that Freya is quiet. And at the end of the day, you ask her something and she retains it all. Freya is very smart. And, I like that. It's like, you may not think that she's listening or paying attention, but she is. And that's what's so rewarding to me is when you make these steps, especially the kids, because this is inherently a dangerous sport and it's intimidating. There's so much going on mentally to process for kids, let alone adults, really. There's so much eye-hand coordination and there's so much going on. So it's really cool when you take these kids and they apply everything and then you ask them and they remember. So yeah, when we get on, I just try to, over the years, I've come up with what works for me based off of all of my years of experience of learning from some of the best in the world and then just from really mistakes I've made. And even the past couple years of doing things that, my life is on the line and at the high speed stuff. So why not transfer all that over to the kids on, even if it's on a little bike that goes 20 mile per hour, doesn't matter. Right. So it all starts with safety, period. If I always say, if you're safe, then you're building confidence. And if you're confident, you're having fun. And the whole goal is to have fun. So safety checks on the motorcycles or the bikes. And I want these kids or adults to get in the routine. You do a quick walk around. It takes 2 or 3 minutes. Right. Check your bike. Front brake, rear brake, throttle snaps back, axles, boom, we're good. Got air in the tires. And we get on the bikes. And body position. Body position on a motorcycle is, it's huge. And what we do with our body affects the motorcycle so drastically. So, we get right into the body position and what and why. That's one of the big things to me is why. I have heard at so many different track day organizations or schools online these days, right? Do this and do that which there's a lot of different ways to ride a motorcycle and fast. But why? And that's what kids should always be told, in my opinion. Why? Because they're so smart. And kids are always asking, well, why? Well, why? Tell them why.
Yeah. Well,
if you don't know why, then you shouldn't be saying it. And that's where a lot of parents at the grocery store, they're asking questions. It's wonderful. Why?
Yeah, that's how you understand things.
Yeah, that's right. So I give a lot of whys and to adults too. Here's why. Here's my opinion of why, what works for me and why. And that's, it's sort of my.
I have a question for you since you've taught a lot of children. And Mike, you may have also seen this with Freya's learning arc. At what age are you introducing clutch and gears? Because I think a lot of kids, like a lot of kids start on a PW50. Is that like the ultimate beginner bike other than some of the electric bikes, right?
Yeah.
So, which is, doesn't have a clutch. So what age do you introduce a clutch?
So yeah, that's going to really, I wouldn't say an age. It's going to depend on that child individually. Mm-hmm. And I would say their experience up to the point of maybe introducing the clutch, which for me, it is a strider bicycle, a pedal bicycle, and then stay sick, whatever you want from there, 50s, etc. Mm-hmm. Everything on a motorcycle is based on balance, period. I do so much balance training myself and with my racers or pro racers. Balance is really key. So
we froze again.
Froze again.
You don't, I make exceptions, but otherwise, you come to my camp or my schools without riding a pedal bike. Because if you try to put, and I've had it where I've had 11, 12-year-olds get on a motorcycle of 50 that don't know how to ride a pedal bicycle, they have no balance. And it can be extremely challenging because they want to put their foot down. And as soon as you put your foot down and plant it, then you go over the high side of the motorcycle. It's just, so anyways, getting back to it.
Yeah.
The balance is key. So if a child has gone through what I find the steps, they can be on a strider. 1, 2, I've had strider and Stasic races at my place I host with 2-year-olds, and they get the balance down, they get the throttle application and brakes down. As long as they have those 2 things or those 3 things, the balance, brakes, and the throttle, physically hand recycle, meaning pull in a clutch, and they can ideally touch the ground, they're good to go. And I've had, I think the youngest is like a 3-4-year-old.
Wow. Well, Freya, are you using a clutch yet?
What's that?
Yeah, no, she's not there yet.
All right.
She's on that. So her Ovale bike is a 110 automatic.
Okay.
And then after riding at Hawks Ranch, she had an electric dirt bike, which was essentially like a 75. And then Hawk was trying to get her onto a shift bike to get her used to it. And the boys that we were riding with were having shift bikes. So, and what did I say you can have if you went on the bike at his house? You remember that? When I wanted you to get on the other bike and I was like, I'll get you this.
A present?
There you go.
And you lied to me.
No, I got
he
you so many
never
presents.
lied to
No.
you.
He did. He lied.
But she got on it. And then like it was so funny because
You lied.
she was ecstatic and she was like, oh my God, it feels so much safer. It feels planted. And she was using these words that I was like, what?
Right.
But like it was a solid bike and she was learning to shift. And then after that, we got her that same bike for Christmas.
So Hawk, I've got a couple of questions for you. If we can kind of dig into almost the psychology of the individual, and these are both scenarios that you've talked about. So, we know that riding a motorcycle is very, very disciplined. There's really only one way to do it, and that's the correct way. So let's talk firstly about the soft child, who really hasn't had a great deal of guidance from his or her parents. How do you approach the soft child? And I suppose you include, do you get the parents out of the scene? Because obviously you can't speak strongly to this child because they may never have been spoken to that way before. How do you work with that?
Yeah. It can be very challenging, I've learned to find sort of what works over the years, and I've learned to I've changed my business plan for this year, for 2025. Partly due to this is that I used to host a lot of camps, meaning kids camps, men's camps, women's camps, anywhere from 10 to up to 30 students at a time. And I had instructors that, I'd break off into groups, etc. It was not individualized enough. And that's what's really needed, especially for these situations like you're asking.
One-on-one, yeah.
Yeah, yep. I think that's just what's deserved. Obviously, financially speaking, it's all in numbers, and it does not do as well taking just one-on-one. But this is what is needed. And as far as the kids go, you asked about the soft kids, there's a lot of it these days.
Right.
Right. Things are changing. The world is changing, and in ways that's great. It's good. I think it's important to be able to.
But you're teaching a very disciplined sport.
Yeah, right.
So you've got to introduce these very, very strong discipline concepts to a child that may not have had any really formal instruction on anything.
Yeah, no, and that's what I've ran into. And I think, so to answer your question real simple, is it's just based on that individual. But typically I want parents to leave. Yes.
Right.
So if it's a one-on-one or a few kids or a group, I always say, hey, families, parents, feel free, go run errands, do your thing for a couple hours.
I got this.
And then
you don't have to, of course. Feel free to watch.
Do you ever have a child, run to their parents? Oh, Hawk's mean. I'm sure you do.
I've not personally ever heard that.
If he said yes, then that would be really bad for promotion.
Well, yeah, I know. But
there haven't been any lawsuits yet.
Exactly.
Well, there shouldn't be, because if you're teaching, the correct method. But I understand exactly the problems.
But kids behave differently when their parents are around.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's a whole thing, like, in and of itself. And that's why when I go up there, like, I'm like, all right, Freya, I'll see you in a little bit. And I'll, like, fly the drone, or I'll, like, kind of pop in here and there. But, like, I want to stay the hell out of his way and her way and let them have their own thing. You know what I mean?
It makes it different. I mean, Mike's amazing. Mike's like the ideal
because he
parent.
gets it.
Because he gets it. And, he's nothing but supportive to Freya. Fun, cool, like you see how they interact. It's like a buddy, and he's there if needed. He brings the whole fleet of bikes,
the army,
the compound. It makes it so fun, the experience for Freya, which is what a lot of this is about. It's the experience, and the memories. Like they're making memories on the whole weekend. So that's a big part of it for the kids too, is, the hands-on part. You as an instructor, you have to be focused and adapt to the kid. If I have a soft boy or a girl that I'm working with, even if they're really young or even a little older, then typically what I found is that you just have to adapt to it and give and feel it out. If it's a little bit, I'm pretty firm. My personality, like I mean, as far as racing goes, instructing, it's like we're high and tight. We get stuff done very, paramilitary, but methodically, not to a kid though, but it's got to be this. And if they don't react well, okay, let's do this and this, then we have fun. We'll do some games. We will.
What is? I got a question for you, Hawk. What is the one thing that gets Freya putting all the things together?
Not bullshit. Hey, that was not good, but encouragement. Hey, great, we're getting it. Let's try to do 2 laps of that and way at it.
I have a question for Freya. Freya, why do you like riding it? Do you do it for yourself or do you do it to make your daddy happy?
Use your words.
Tough question.
Both.
Yeah, because I remember, Freya, we had a little chat about this a couple of years ago and you forgot about it. And I said, why do you like motorbikes, Freya? And she said, I like them because it makes my daddy happy. But I think that's changed a little bit along the way. I think Freya's enjoying them just for the sake of enjoying them now.
Did you have fun in the desert?
Desert riding's a kind of freedom, which
and
is hard to come by otherwise.
And you like spending the time with your dad, right?
Yeah.
That's what's fun. So you said you like riding pavement better than dirt?
Into the mic, Freya.
Like do you like riding on the track? What is it that you like? Do you like leaning into turns?
Actually, dirt.
Change your mind to dirt.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what is it about the dirt riding that you like?
Getting dirty. Right?
Yeah.
There you
It's all
go.
about the dirt.
Kids love getting dirty.
Also, it usually has a funner track.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
makes it-
Probably, if it's dirty, then it's probably going to be in the woods with a lot of twists and turns and stuff and
Which is your
really weird mushrooms.
Freya? You're tripping, dude. What is your favorite part of Hawk's house? Is the ranch there? What is your favorite track there? Is it the one up in the front, or is it the one in the field, or is it the big one in the back with the kind of the berm over the middle? If you had to pick one right now, which one would you rather ride?
I don't know which ones you're talking about.
Okay.
Okay.
My favorite part has to
Well-
be the really weird white kitty cat.
Oh, she likes the kitty cat.
This is like the concentration of a squirrel. Hawk, what is it that gets Freya going though? Like, is it the one thing is like you could do this training and we do kind of repetitive stuff throughout the day, and then there's like the one thing where it all comes together at the end. What is that?
Well, and I think Freya likes both. As far as you ask dirt or pave, what's cool is switching it up, especially for kids. It keeps it fresh.
Right.
Two. I always say I have a minimum of 2 hours to teach any lesson. And with kids, much more than that at times is too much. They're fried. So it's really fun and cool to do some dirt and do some paved. And it's only going to make her or any rider just that much better and confident of a rider. All disciplines. I support all disciplines of riding.
Even scooters.
So, heck yeah. I love
Okay.
scooters. Anything. But Freya's, I think it all really by the end of each day, whether it be dirt or paved, it all comes together. Is that all the drills that we do, they can sometimes, especially again with kids, they can get boring. It's repetition, but that's really how we get the muscle memory is repetition of something. And that's what I want is I want muscle memory of the key things, front brake, rear brake, things happen. It's just muscle memory. So
Yeah.
it's cool that I've seen Freya really progress. This last session we had, I saw Freya because I don't get to be with her every day like, her parents, is that I saw her confidence go up a big step on the pave to where you always know when a kid wants to just keep riding. You say, okay, great. How are you feeling? Good. Okay, great. You want to keep riding? Yeah.
One word answers.
And and they keep going. And then when I pull off and she keeps riding and riding, it's like, okay, there it is. That's it. That's
Nice.
Yeah, the
that's
momentum.
fine with the kid that they're like, hell yeah. That's when they stay out till dark. You're like, yeah, that's on them. That's not doing it for anyone else. That's their that's their moment. She was confident. She's starting to do little throttle stabs, bro, which it's like, all right, there we go. And I could see her big old cheeks smiling in the helmet. Great. It's the good stuff.
So, Scottie, how old's your kid?
9.
And have you gotten her riding it at all yet?
Minimally.
Does she show interest?
None. Like negative
None.
interest.
But she was very interested in the cookie I gave her today.
Yeah.
So
Try cookies.
yeah, I was going to say, children respond well to being bribed, and cookies and candy
Cookies, ice
generally
cream, and
work
campfire
well.
works for us.
We do a lot of mountain biking.
Oh, we're
which
getting
is
a
more
tour of the ranch.
challenging.
It's
I know.
that is quite an amazing setup you've got there.
The spread.
Where do you get the majority of your customers from? West Coast, over America, worldwide?
So far, I mean, that's the goal someday. I'd love worldwide. I mean, the furthest traveler actually I just had recently was from Bermuda.
Oh, okay.
And I've had some back Easters. But no, most students are local to the area, or a lot of Bay Area or North, Oregon, Washington, Southern California. Yeah, sort of everywhere. It's cool. It's definitely growing.
So, Hawk, you teach adults also?
Absolutely. Yeah. That besides my change for 25 of teaching much more just one-on-one focused is really working a lot with adults and aspiring racers or racers that are already really at it, want to go to the pro level. That's like honestly, that is my absolute passion, is teaching a rider that wants to go racing or to step up to that next level. Cause I love the mental game. I love the physical training part of it. I do everything out here. I mean, like boot camp, really hardcore training. And I just love that aspect.
So are you up for a challenge?
Always. Yes.
Don't
Emma?
say yes. Don't
Emma?
do it, Hawk. You don't know what you're getting yourself into.
What did Keith from Yamaha Champs Riding School label you
Keith
as?
Culvert.
So Keith Culver, we do these alpine. They're called Alpine Adventure Tours, and I've been doing them for many years. And we've recently branched out. And we've brought in Keith Culver from Yamaha Champ U School to do one-on-one instruction. And Keith pronounced me completely untrainable.
You're a damn good mechanic.
I should point out that I've been riding since 1978, so I've been riding 47 years, and I've raced in the past, and I've actually had instruction in the past. It was a long time ago, and I've picked up so many appalling bad habits over the years. And I think, in the words of Keith, he said it's quite extraordinary that you've cobbled together this set of skills that you can actually you can ride a bike quite quickly and quite competently, but you are completely untrainable. So, like a feral cat, I believe. So, if you want a challenge,
a challenge accepted.
All right, I may well take you up on that.
I was telling Hawk, it's so funny because Hawk's looking for a mechanic for this season this year, and he had one, but then he didn't. And I was like, dude, you got to meet Emma. I mean, like, she's incredible.
I'd be thrilled to, but Hawk, I work for myself. I have a little shop in the Bay Area in Monterey, and I am so tied to my little shop.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
When I go over and I ride the Dolomites and the Alps, with Keith, I have to just close my shop for a couple of weeks, and it takes quite a bit of time to recover from that. Nothing would make me happier than doing the race circuit and monkeying around with race bikes, but financially I couldn't do it, honey. Perhaps when I retire.
Did you
gotta keep the shop going. Well, it's it pays well. I can say that. It's nothing's for free these days. And
absolutely. But no, thank you.
But, what is the shop called? I lived in Monterey for so many years.
My shop is actually called Moto Town.
And you will not. What's the motto?
You won't pay more elsewhere.
I thought it was we
No.
only work on.
I've worked for pretty much over the years all the shops.
How long does it take you to get an
I
R1
worked for
apart?
Keith at Pinnett for a while. I worked for Monterey Peninsula Power Sports as the lead.
Okay. Yeah.
I worked for Mike at Seaside Superbikes for a while. So I've done the round of all the shops. But
Right.
4 years ago, I just opened my own shop. And
How
it
quick
was,
can you get an R1 apart and back together?
Depends on how fast
Well,
it's going.
Oh,
one
the
of the
engine for the
I
recall?
I got quite a name at Monterey Peninsula because it was right when all the R1s were being recalled for the transmission. And
Okay.
Yamaha were being actually quite generous with the flat rate on that. They were paying, I think, 15 hours flat rate. And so I got them all. And I got them all from a lot of bikes around the Bay Area. And I think I did 20 or 25 R1s
Jeez.
in 2016 doing the transmissions.
How long? What was the shortest time?
Shortest time I did one in was a day, 8
That's
hours. But you
fucking
get paid
crazy.
15.9.
Nice.
But it's not always. It's not about doing it quickly. I mean, it's about doing it right, especially if it's a brand new bike, because of course you're presented with somebody who's literally done 100 miles on their brand new R1M, and they spent big money on that bike, and then suddenly they get the notice from NHTSA saying the transmission's garbage, and you have to bring it in and get the transmission done. And now the bike has gone from being built by Yamaha. Now it was built by the mechanic who worked on it. So you've got to make sure you do it right. And it's it was a crazy recall because all the fasteners on an R1M are one-use fastener only.
Oh, geez.
So all the crankcase bolts, you use them once, throw them away. It's crazy.
Hey, Freya, I have a question for you. I'm wondering, when you're getting instruction from somebody like Hawk, what is your goal? What are you wanting to get into racing? Or you just like to spend time with your dad? Or would you like to be able to just go explore like dirt trails by yourself and have that freedom? What is it that you want to be good at?
I think you want to be
She's
a
freezing
racer.
up here.
No, Freya,
Yeah, what is it that,
you want to be a racer, don't you?
do you want to get into racing?
Maybe.
Mm.
Maybe not.
What would you race? What size? You didn't want to do that. So we were 50cc. You're going to be too big for that next year, I think, right, Hawk? Yeah. Well, I was going to say before, when we're at the ranch, the one thing where she puts everything together is that Hawk will do a race. Like the first time he went there, he did instruction just Freya, which is amazing. And you're just watching her change throughout the day, like more than it took me weeks and months, right? But the complaint was she's a kid. She likes to play, likes to have fun. So it was better because we brought some of her friends there the next time who also like to ride, and the entire dynamic changed. And like Hawk's training didn't really change much either, but like it introduced like a fun factor to the whole thing where the kids were really kind of interacting differently, right? Dominate. But the thing that really brings Freya out and like I thought locked all the skills together was the racing at the end. Like Hawk set up a race, right? And how did you do on the race, Freya?
Good until the last lap.
Ooh, what happened on the last lap?
I don't want to talk about it.
See, very competitive. But like she was getting so hard. Like it was so crazy because me and Hawk were just sitting in the middle and I'm like, holy shit, dude. She's like sliding the back end on that one turn right in the middle.
Backing it in.
Every one, and she'd go even deeper and deeper with it. And I was like, oh my God. And as soon as like her boy comes, like I don't know, it's like this different person kicks in when it's competition with her. And she's very passionate about winning stuff. And then right there on the last lap, like she slid out right in front of us and he just smoked her right to the finish line and she was devastated the rest of the day.
Yeah, so that brings me to a question for Hawk. Hawk, this is Neil. What kind of things do you see change in kids who go through your courses? What kinds of things emotionally and cognitively and things like that? What changes do you see when they finish with their time with you?
Yeah. A lot of changes, really confidence wise though. I'd say one of the biggest things just sort of overall is you see the confidence, whether it be on the motorcycle or off the motorcycle. And just sort of growth as humans. I've seen a lot with especially, Cottonwood where I live, which is just below Reading. It's a lower income area, so you sort of see a lot, some tough households and some kids that I've worked with, even some schools that or principals that have reached out to me directly. We've built relationships. Said, hey, I've got a kid. He needs some help. He's going down a bad road, and I've seen some really amazing change with some of the kids of just really their confidence. Because to me, I mean, riding a motorcycle is badass, period. And, it's sort of like as a kid, what kid doesn't want to ride a motorcycle? It's sort of like being a cowboy, a motorcycle rider. It's like this is cool stuff, and kids want to do that. So I've seen these kids that are maybe picked on, they're bullied, they've got just a rough household, a lot of single mom households, or single parent, but usually it's single mom households. Dad's just not in the picture. So there's just that lack of strong.
Yeah, role modeling.
And that's, I'd say, confidence to answer your question. Really, just building that confidence. And again, on the motorcycle, building that confidence and safety and muscle memory. But yeah, off the bike, just that.
Do you think it becomes part of their identity once they've, gone through this, this experience?
I do. I absolutely do. Even if it's short-lived, some kids will come out and it's just they're in town for summer and they find me online and they come and rent a motorcycle and gear and they ride for just one day. And that's the only time they'll ride for years. It's just an experience. But boy, just that experience, and the parents are like, well, I've never seen this part of my kid before, I attribute that often these days because of all the damn technology and the cell phones and the iPads and the computers and the bullshit. That is one of the biggest things. I'm not a fan of it all. And I use it for business. It's very handy, and there's a time and place. But that is one of the biggest factors is that I have seen the kids who struggle are the ones that show up with some sort of gadget, whatever in their hands.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
They get on the motorcycle.
Nintendo Switch or whatever. Yeah.
Yep. And then they get off the motorcycle and they're just like, bro, they want to zoom right back in. I'm like, God, there it is,
The iPad generation.
Can I say something about the confidence? There's one thing I definitely want to bring up. So Freya, last time we were in, I think it was last weekend. I remember we were in Shasta or the kart track. And like what we usually do a dirt day and then a track day, or maybe both. Because like to his point, there's only a limited amount of time we have, like with the attention span or whatever. And usually like I want her to spend more time on the track bike, but Hawk has the way he does stuff. And it's really good because we put her on something that she's confident with, right? The PW50, then the 110. And like she just like warms up and you see like the shoulders drop after a little while. You see the confidence come in that he's talking about. And it's crazy to not be involved in it, but to watch the change in her because I do see her every day. And then like the growth in like one day is unbelievable. And when we were at Shasta last time, Freya, remember with the cat or whatever, she hopped on her Ovale and we're riding around doing drills and stuff like that. And I threw my suit on, I jumped on mine and I'm riding around with her just videoing and stuff. And I had like the most proud dad moment I ever had afterward, because the first session she gets out and she's just getting on the Ovale after weeks and it's a completely different posture, right? Hands on the bars, you're leaning forward and, all of a sudden that confidence just got zapped and it was just after lunch and I was like, oh man, she's going to want to quit quick. She goes out and she follows us around, but it was just a couple of things and working with him. We get back in and Hawk starts talking to her about, just a couple of things, right? And I back up, but let him do their thing. We get back out there again and it was like an entirely different person. Jumped on the bike and all of a sudden like I'm behind her and I see her entire head this way, like the back of her head, like the image on it's like on the side of her head now because she's straight up looking way farther down than she ever did. And you could see her like trying to get into the lean and then she's getting faster. And then there was one turn which she kept blowing, the one in the dirt, Freya. It was a 180-degree turn and she kept running over.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And I remember I was like, oh, she's going to give up because of that. But she didn't. She doubled down. And I think that was the motivating factor to keep her like figure that turn out.
So she was starting to look through it.
Yeah. And so all of a sudden she was taking all the techniques he was going with, like looking for the break, coming in fast, the turn, slowing. and then looking through the turn and then making it, and like before she stopped going in the dirt, then she was like right on the edge, then she got closer and closer, and before you knew it, that was her turn. And it was just crazy to see that, like, all of a sudden she wasn't thinking about the bike at all. Like, she controlled the bike, she controlled the braking, she controlled this and that. And I was so stoked, and I took a picture at the end of the day, and it's Hawk behind her and her there, and she looks mean as hell. She's like full on the bike like this, her head's like cocked all the way over there, and like I don't even know where the hell she was looking, to the next dimension, but like totally focused, and it was like, yeah, I don't think I would have been able to do that on my own.
Freya, that sounds like a lot of fun.
But the other reason I'm bringing him on here and that I wanted to talk with Hawk is about the reason that this is relevant to me, and I wanted to give him his chance to talk about it, is because I'm also helping partly sponsor a race, March 15th in Sonoma. And then I didn't realize that Hawk was involved with it until I talked to my other friend, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm doing school there also. I was like, what? So Hawk, do you want to talk about the race, the mini cup, and like what that's doing and why you're doing all this?
Yeah. So March 15th at Sonoma Raceway at the go-kart track, we will be hosting the Mission Moto America Mini Cup qualifier, as well as several other exhibition races. So what that means is Moto America, which is the premier, road racing series in the US, they have a series, and it's based on ovales. Like, it's trying to get our youth up into road racing. And so we've got the ovale classes, which are the little mini super bikes. They're awesome. And then your 50s and 110s and 65s, the other classes. So we've got all those. Anyone who runs or enters this race, finishes, gets points, automatically qualifies to go back to Road America, Wisconsin at our national at the track there, and compete for a national number 1 plate. It's pretty rad. And so we will also have there's a class for everyone. So this event it's co-hosted. Myself and Tyler O'Hara are putting it on. If you don't know Tyler O'Hara, I mean, he's a absolute badass on two wheels.
Bad man.
Factory rider. He's sort of done a bit of everything. One of those guys, I'd say he's just a really talented motorcycle racer. So we've put this on, or we're putting this on along with the Mini Bike Club out of Nevada. They're coming on to help host it, run the event. So we've got a rad crew.
What if you don't have an ovale?
We got bikes for everyone. So if you don't have an ovale and you want to ride an ovale, John Hopkins with Ovale USA will be there. I mean, John Hopkins, the MotoGP superstar, absolute stud. He'll be there with a fleet of ovales. We have, I believe 4 110s, 4 160s, and 4 190s to rent. And my sponsor, Bison Leathers, hopefully I will have a handful of Bison suits in time for the event to use, to rent, to buy. We just want bikes and gear available for kids. We want kids on bikes, period.
Yeah. What's the lowest or the smallest class you can race there?
Well, we'll have Stasics. So we will have a halftime show on the track. We're going to make a really cool little oval TT on the paved course. So Stasic 12-inch 16s, I think even 24s. It's just going to be fun. I mean, it's a race, but it'll be fun. That's always the best race to watch. The little kids on the Stasics are classic.
Yeah. Michael,
and so that'll be lunchtime.
So
will you and Freya be there?
Yeah. Well, so Hawk, what is your involvement in it outside of the racing?
So here the basic is on Friday, the 14th, we will have a 3-hour practice. So anybody who's not been into the track before, anyone who's never raced before, you can show up Friday and get 3 hours of seat time, and it'll be divided up into several groups, accordingly based on safety. And then Saturday in the morning, you get registered, pre-registered, riders meeting, and then we go right into practices. There's going to be 5 practice groups that will be, on track, off track. I will have a new racer school going on in the parking lot while practice groups are on track. So
that's what me and Freya are going to be doing.
Yes. Super important. This is that opportunity that we want a great first experience for riders, let alone kids. And it can be, really intimidating for a new rider to go on the track. Where do I go? How do I do this? What if I fall? There's so much to it. So the new racer school, myself and a handful of other instructors, a couple celebrity instructors, will be working that with me, with the kids in the parking lot, doing just basic skills and drills with cones. Then we'll go in the classroom. We'll talk about the fundamentals and the basics, body position and brakes and lines and the race flags and the meaning of all the flags. So they have a very good understanding.
Same thing as just your first track day.
Yeah, but for little
anyone.
ones.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's what's kind of cool about it is that like a lot of people would be like, oh, that's cool. There's a race for kids. It's great. But my kid doesn't race. But it's like, oh, well, they don't have to. They can go to race school at the same time. And they can get there in the morning, get out there in safety and hang out and see like the big, there's going to be like sponsorship everywhere and it's gonna be a big deal, but it's for kids and I think it'd be really cool for the kid to come and like I want to race, but if they don't race, who cares? Well, let's go to this school.
I think it's a splendid idea.
Do the education.
Anytime that children can feel that they're part of this grown-up world, it's wonderful.
Emma, do you want to ride up on the 15th? It's a Saturday.
Oh, cool.
Well, you guys
can we bring
up?
some misfits up there and do it? Because with all the support they can get, would be great.
Please.
It's just a couple hours from here. We can go right up and watch kids. I kind of want to see the kids race.
It's gonna be so sick with their big heads.
I've yet to find a child that doesn't enjoy encouragement from the cheap seats, so we can, cheer our friends on.
One of the things that makes this interesting for me is that I watch a lot of MotoGP, and we've got Joe Roberts is the only American right now. Right? Isn't that true? So
yeah, in the moto level, yeah.
Yeah, and so I think it's kind of cool that like him and Tyler, from what I'm talking to them about, they're trying to build up a little bit more of an infrastructure here and kind of get, I don't know, maybe just not just Americans but kids started, right? At a lower level, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it's really needed. We had such a strong presence at the top level, and obviously overseas back in the day with all of our flat trackers. It's where it all started. Kenny Roberts, Freddie Spencer. I mean, all the guys. Bubba Schobert. So we were dominating at the world level for years, and then we slowly Colin Edwards left, and then Hopkins, and what happened to Nicky Hayden, and so we've got to get the youth in America, but ideally some Americans back over to the top level. So there's no excuses. There's no reason. There's a lot to it, but someone's got to start really doing it. So that's the goal. I've been working with kids for years, but now with I think some really key players back in it again, and some young. The thing is, having some young current riders like Tyler O'Hara, and there's a couple guys who really have. And he's a dad too. We've got that passion, truly for kids. And you're current, you're relevant, you're young enough. Like we can get out there and get on a bike and dice and push these kids and physically train these kids and mentally train. It's all part of it.
Because you have credibility, so it kind of like
credibility
helps to that end.
It does, and there's so much to this. Like if you want to make it in racing, like any career, you got to work and you got to have that commitment. You have to have grit. It's a tough sport, and that's all part of it, is helping the kids, not just on the motorcycle, but off in the physical training, the mental training, and the talking and speaking and interviews, sponsors. Like that's a thing of the past. These kids, it's like, well, I want this. Well, go work for it. Mm-hmm. You got to put the effort in. And so it's so cool. It's so exciting. So this event is going to be the first, I think, of many. For sure this year, but next year, 2026, I know I've got, and I think hopefully we got the other guys on board to do some really big things. I know in California, for sure.
Hey,
and
I have a few questions for you, just based on what you were saying. I was wondering, how do you encourage your young students like to practice in their own time, and as well as Mike was saying, he was worried about students just like wanting to quit. Like, what do you do when they get frustrated as well?
Positive reinforcement. When they're with me in person, I try to keep it really basic. keep it simple, and meaning the couple of things, the fundamentals of, you say, it sounds silly, but front brake, rear brake, throttle control, body position, eyes up. I just keep these couple of things repetition over and over and over to where it keeps it simple for their brains, that at some point, and they're such sponges, they absorb it and they get it. So if they can fall back to that thing, and I always tell parents, if you're here, watch, pay attention, listen. And I will share with parents, if they're not here, here's what we worked on. When you're at home, if the kids have somewhere to ride, just work on these things with them. Keep saying these couple things to them, and they keep hearing it. And then it is muscle memory, and they get it, and that confidence goes up. They can ride at home. And I'll get parents to send me videos all the time. Hey, look what so-and-so is doing. And I'm watching, I'm like, yeah, hell yeah. They're doing it. And the parents, a little bit of reinforcement, consistency. That's it. Keep it going. Keep those same little routines going, and make it fun. Whatever that kid needs, different per kid, keep it fun. Find out what they need. If it, like Freya, hey, she's competitive. She liked the racing part of it. Do it. I'll do games, challenges. I do cone drills where you stop at the cone. If you go past the cone, it's hot lava. Like your tires burn up.
Yeah.
Kids just think it's hilarious. I do a water cup challenge. You got to ride one-handed. Don't spill the water. Just find the fun things.
Also, they
Freya
will ride.
keeps-
They
Freya
will ride
keeps-
for cookies.
Yeah, and Freya keeps talking about this one cup,
Bribery, it works.
holding the cup in the water. What was your other question?
Oh, yeah, just pretty much like putting in that. How do you like get motivated to put in the hours of practice? But I think you answered that with like having fun. And I
Yeah.
feel like that could be said for all of us with
Yeah, right.
making practice more fun.
Hawk, I have a question for you about the baggers. So, for people who follow American racing, as you said, we don't really have any of the great American racers who've really made it up to MotoGP level. So you have to incubate it. But also, I found that over the last 20 years, there's been less interest in American racing. I've seen the crowds get smaller and smaller. But the crowds have been changing since the baggers came. And I'm wondering what your perspective
And the
is on that.
hooligans.
Yeah, and the hooligans too. But what is your
Yeah.
perspective on the baggers? How is that changing racing?
It is opening up a demographic that needed to be opened up. And that's absolutely right. What's cool is that I saw it firsthand because I didn't come back to racing until 2022. I believe the baggers started in 20 or 21.
Yeah, I think so.
So I actually took my wife to Laguna Seca just as a spectator. I think it was in 20.
It was
And
like the freak show. Like, let's go
Yes.
see the freak show,
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was wild. And I had no clue about it. I disconnected from racing completely because I just knew if I followed it, if I watched it, then I'd want to get back into it. So I had no clue about baggers. And Laguna Seca, you come up the steep hill, you go through the toll booth, and then right there's turn 5.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there was baggers on the track. I remember looking at my wife, I was like, oh my God, what is this?
What a wonderful noise, too.
Oh, and it was like,
Yeah.
NASCAR, and I loved it right away. I was like, no shit. And I'd recognized riders, right? I was like, no way. Herons out there. So
Yeah.
it was so wild. It was I think at the time, obviously, there's a lot of criticism. There's a lot of people doubting it. But hey, you got to introduce new things. You got to spice it up. And obviously, over the years with the economy, OEM manufacturers, factories backing out, the sport has changed. So you got to try new things. And it's all American. I mean, Jesus, it's Indian versus Harley. It's there's history. It's big players. I mean, obviously, Harley Davidson's absolutely massive. Indian's not as big, but they're big, and it's America. And it's brought the demographic is when you go to Laguna Seca, especially now, again, when you go through the infield, the island, the pond.
It used to
area,
be Ducati Island.
not anymore, right?
No.
It's a bunch of people.
It's like
vests
Harley
and
Island.
white
Yeah.
shirts and patches, and hell yeah.
People you
That's
didn't see at the races before.
Yep.
That's right.
Yeah,
It's fun.
would you
And so it's opened up too. Is that it's good? Is that I mean, what's a sport bike, a Jap bike costs to buy? Not much. What's a Harley? They're
Yeah.
expensive,
Yeah.
right? And those people, those riders, they love their bikes and they're passionate and they spend the money on the aftermarket part. there's a whole big picture with it, and it's phenomenal. And the bikes to race are awesome. They're so gnarly and so cowboy. I love it. It's so cool.
I was going to ask, so that's kind of the perspective. I mean, and that makes sense. That's what riding a big twin is like, right? You feel like you're riding a Bronco, not a thoroughbred. Like,
I got a video of Freya at the corkscrew with her friends, and I remember watching the baggers come over the hill and then do that turn, and it was just madness. And we kept looking for the girl with the hair, and I was like, "See, Freya, there's girls there too."
Is that Patricia?
Is it
Hernandez?
Yeah, Patricia.
Yeah.
She was ripping.
She was on it a bagger for a couple years. Yeah, she rode
Yeah,
hard.
So loud too,
Tiny.
coming down the corkscrew. It was so crazy seeing them throw these massive bikes around. And
Huge.
I want to put a plug in for Sonoma Raceway, the mini track, because I've been going up there for quite some time on Mondays, and it's like $60 for the day, 90 for a full day or something. It's whatever. But like, what's really crazy about it is when I first started going up there, like I would get on track and there's like Tyler O'Hare in his like straight up like sponsored like Indian like getup. And there he is sideways, drifting the same bike that I have, going twice as fast. And then Cameron Bobier, number 6. And they're so understated and they're so chill for the amount of status that they have. And, it's just such a cool thing. It's like one of those places where it's the equalizer. You go up there and you're on track with like studs, like proper stars, Hawk. I mean, I seen him do things on my Ovale. I was like, holy fuck, I didn't know I could do that. He got on my bike and in like 2 minutes, he's drifting it. I was like, it does that? Like, it was so crazy to watch him do it. But I got a quick story while Hawk's here, because we are going to wrap it up soon. So I was talking to Hawk a couple weeks back, and the reason why I wanted to do this podcast was because of this conversation. We were going down to the desert, and I remember talking to him about it, and I said, he's like my like 1-900 hotline, like, hey, Hawk, having problems with Freya on the bike. Like, what do you think about this? And he'll like sit there for 40 minutes with me, like, yeah, sure, let's talk about it and break it down. And we had this amazing conversation going down to Johnson Valley about her and the approach and how I should do this and that, the other thing. I said, okay, cool, I'm going to do it. But before that, he was like, yeah, let me call you back. I'm in North Carolina right now. I was like, oh, okay, cool. What's going on? He's like, oh, I'm at the Trackhouse event. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, we could talk later. He said, no, it's cool. I'll talk to you. And he's like, I was just here at Ralph Fernandez. I was like, and if you don't know who Ralph Fernandez is currently in Trackhouse Racer on an Aprilia in MotoGP. And I told him this silly story about how, oh yeah, I ran into him last year, like right. At the airport in Texas. And oh yeah, he kind of stumped me, you know what I mean? And he's like, oh no, he's such a cool guy. Like they had to give me his race suit to do all my promo pictures. So he's in with all the NASCAR guys, all the MotoGP guys, and Hawk for Moto America. And I'm just sitting there like, dude, I'm talking to a guy who's talking to a guy who's like, he's hanging out with like, what? Okay. And he's like, yeah, dude, it's totally chill. They're super cool, and Raul's really cool and this, that. I was like, yeah, I'd give him peace of my mind, because of the way he was. And he's like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, totally. Yeah, hold on 1 second. And he like puts the phone down and he picks it up. He's like, hey, Mike, you're on with Raul. You wanna tell him what you said? And he's like, hello? I was like, oh, hey. Yeah, dude. What's up, Raul? Like, yeah, you blew me off in the airport. He's like, what?
I remember that.
He's like, what? So I'm like sitting there like in my car with Freya talking to fucking Raul Fernandez and Hawk Mazzotta. And he's like, oh, yeah, I remember. Yeah, that airport, blah, 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 blah. And I was breaking his balls a little bit. I didn't know what else to do but be myself, which is a little bit ball breaking. But I'm like, holy shit, dude. It was just such a funny situation I found myself in, and I think it's just interesting, motorcycles and the people involved with it, and Hawk's a part of that. But Hawk, do you have how can people get involved with Sonoma? How can people get involved with the 15th? How can they sign up for your this is your moment.
All your plugs. Give us all your plugs.
Go ahead.
As far as the race on the 15th, the easiest thing is go online. If you have social media, you can go to the Mission Mini Cup qualifier, Sonoma. There's links everywhere, or contact me direct via social media. Of course, Hawk Mazzotta Moto Camp on Instagram or Facebook. I'm not big or hot on that stuff, but I use it. And feel free to old school email me and call me, and you can go to the website hawkmazzottaMotorCamp.com.
Could you spell that, please?
Yes. Hawk like the bird, HAWK.
Yep.
Mazzotta, MAZZOTTA.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Cool.
and
And it's okay to come to Sonoma to watch the races?
to have everyone. Yeah. I mean, the more the barrier. It is open to the public. And we've got. I mean, it's open to all riders to make sure this is not just a kids event. We've got a class for everyone. We've got a dirt trackers class, a DTX. So we've got some pro dirt trackers coming out. We have the World Cup, which is it's going to be bad barbing and racing. It's going to be like the Ninja 400 style bikes. The pro class, we got, purse money, got $1,500. We got $1,000. We got money we're throwing at it. And vendors. We'll have food vendors, sponsor vendors. So,
I like eating.
Yeah. I mean, for the public, it's awesome. We'll have a beer. They're serving beer there. So fun for all. And yeah, I'd be stoked if you guys can all show up, as well as you're all welcome to come out here to my place anytime. Let me know. I'd be stoked to have you guys out and do some riding.
I have a suggestion. Lots of bikes.
These are the little bikes you guys can ride.
You need to start a class specifically for the untrainables. And then you can have, a race class for the untrainables, because I find it very hard to believe I'm alone.
Remedial motorcycling.
Yeah, exactly.
I might be with you, Emma.
We'll have just a free-for-all race for the untrainable.
Yes, I like the sound of that.
It'd basically be like Derby.
Yeah. No, I like the sound of that. And as long as we can heckle our opponents, I'm all about that.
I love it. Well, I wanted to also say a huge thank to Mike. I mean, Mike's one of these guys that we really need in our sport, and all of you for that matter. It's the passion, and it's so needed these days, especially in the United States. We're so young compared to other countries, and all sports are our priority. So thanks to all of you for the passion and having me on, and Mike, such a rad dude. And sponsor me, and Freya, she's so cool to work with. She's my buddy. And it's just cool. We need more enthusiasm and people like Mike and all of you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah.
When's the next time you race him?
Whew, I'm out of here. Tuesday. I leave Tuesday for Daytona, round 1. Let's go.
Okay.
Wow. And will you be at Laguna Seca this summer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be racing there. So we go Daytona's round 1. I'm just racing the hooligans for track racing on a Yamaha MT-09. And I'm really excited about that. I'm excited and stressed and nervous and pumped because I have not. The first time riding the motorcycle will be practice 1 at Daytona.
Oh, and that's the triple, right?
Yeah, they're still working on his bike.
It's going to be a badass motorcycle, great platform, incredible team. There, but showing up without any time on it.
And that MT-09 platform, it's a great engine.
Well, it's the same as.
So
my Nikon.
It's a
Nikon, I love it.
But it's a great motor. It's a punchy engine. It's got a lot of torque. When the cams come in, it takes off as well. It's lovely.
I would like to, Hawk. I'm just going to throw out a challenge.
Oh, don't take it.
If you're interested,
don't do it.
I know you're pretty hot racer and everything, but I've been known to pass some Harleys on my Nikon on the parade lap at Laguna Seca.
Oh, are you the one that's up front throwing down?
No, I start at the back so I can pass the most people.
Yes.
I passed
on your parade lap.
5 Harleys on the corkscrew. Just I take it quite seriously. It's not a race, but I'm gonna win.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I'm gonna keep my eyes peeled. You have to let me know this year before you go.
I'm just saying, if you want to bring your bagger out, let's do some side by side.
Screw with the sign and an air horn going for you.
There's just 2 more things I want to say real quick. One of them is that I played Daytona on Ride 5 PS5 again last night, and this guy's fucking crazy. That track is insane, dude. Like the bank turns on it, and like you come into like a hard left at the end. It's nutty. So good luck with that. And then the other thing is that in reality, the only reason I really go up to Hawk's Ranch, and it's Hawk Mazzotta Motor Ranch, is for these.
Wild Ranch,
because secretly,
there it is.
Yeah, secretly, Hawk and I are both very avid RC people, and like I secretly go up there for like Freya, but it's so we can play RCs like the entire time.
That's like what, a 1/6 scale?
1/4.
1/4 scale, yeah.
Bro,
remote control.
Wow.
Nice.
We're talking about setting our own thing up at Laguna with Moto America and trying to get a bunch of these and get like
I'm
a
in.
pro moto race together. So that's in the works.
Very nice.
Cool.
Well, thank you very much for coming on and sharing your story and for helping Freya, who, like I said, we've known her since the day she was born. We all sponsor her. I want to see her succeed. And tell your listeners, if you go to the races, go find Hawk and say hi. Tell him you heard him on our show.
Right on.
Have a good time. Well, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks so much.
All right,
Appreciate
good
Thanks,
talking
Later,
to
Hawk.
Thanks, Hawk.
Take care,
So-
Hawk.
Bye, Freya.
you.
Bye.
I just wanted to make some quick announcements. Still got the t-shirts on sale for $10 with the unnamed rider.
That guy?
The unteachable.
Because
He's the unnameable.
I showed some of you the new t-shirt.
Oh, I've seen the
design.
new
It
one.
looks so good.
There's the new t-shirt design. So for people who don't know how this works, if you are a Patreon supporter for $5 or more a year, Bagel, he's on that list. I see it. I'm going to be sending out a link saying, hey, it's t-shirt time. You get a free t-shirt, free shipping every year, new design. I send it out. So now's the time to sign up. If you want to be a Patreon supporter, show us love. We appreciate it. And we show our appreciation by sending out a free t-shirt every year. There you go. So I got last year's shirts for $10. If you don't want to do Patreon support, that's okay. But if you want to be a Patreon supporter, you can find the link on our website, motorcyclesandmisfits.com, or you can go to patreon.com and type in Motorcycles and Misfits. Also, a quick announcement. I'm not sure, but I think maybe this is going to happen. I don't know. There's a good chance I'm going back to Pakistan
Oh, wow.
in May.
Who
Really?
on earth will run the garage while you are gone, Liza? Who?
I hope it's you.
Is there an hour?
That means that
No.
everybody has to do exactly what I say.
So there are some openings on this trip, and we're going to be riding the new Ibex 450.
Right, because this is a major upgrade now, isn't it?
Yeah, there is a choice to ride the old CB 150F, or you can upgrade to the Ibex 450. And we're going to be doing some of the death roads up to Lake Shimshal. The dates of the trip are May 13th to May 27th. And Bagel, you don't know yet the reason why, but I'm just going to say, after that tour, some of us are staying behind to attend a wedding of a good friend of ours who has a guitar.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. That's going to be quite a wedding, I imagine.
There's going to be a wedding in Hunza.
Wow.
So Bagel,
cool.
you want to come with me?
Ah, so tempting.
Mm.
I don't. Oh, I don't know.
Well, for anyone else who wants to come, you're not invited to the wedding. But this is called 15 Days, The Lost Tribe, and it is May 13th and May 27th. Link in our notes. Come join me, or email me and let me know you're interested, and I can answer any questions. I'm not fully committed to going, but I think I'm going to go. But we have to read some emails. Emma, you have one there, and you have one that needs an accent because you read
That's right.
it last time.
Okay. Hello, Misfits. It's Dan again, the rusty forks guy. Thank you, Miss Emma and gang, for that lovely advice. It worked a treat. I'll attach a before and after photo. I'll have some follow-up questions. After tidying up that rust, which was mostly on the surface, I do have some minor pitting. How much fork oil residue is normal? I assume I have some kind of leak, but after that rust ripping through the seals on compression, oil just isn't pouring out, but my stanchions are definitely somewhat damp after a ride. You know what, Mark, darling? My stanchions often get damp after a ride. It's absolutely
Is that
thrilling,
what you call your
sweetie.
knickers?
That's right.
Yes.
If I get the fork seals done, will the minor pitting just cause them to continue leaking? Is it worth doing, or will I just be back to square one in 6 months' time? Or will you be back to square six in 1 month's time? That's the question. Thanks again, Misfits. Your response made my day. And that's from Dan. What a lovely possum he is.
An interesting accent you went with.
Oh, thank you, darling.
Neil.
No, I mean, look, we explained this last week. So what you did, Dan, you took the sharpness off the pitting with your paring knife. And I hope your wife, girlfriend, mum has forgiven you for using her best paring knife. And you finished off with a sandpaper. Now, that pit is now pretty benign. And yes, you can get the fork seals done. My recommendation is you need a quality seal, which means you will either need to buy the genuine seals from Kawasaki or SKF, the German seals. Now, theoretically, the SKFs come in two flavors. They come in black and green. And theoretically, they should be as good. But I kind of feel that the greens are a little more pliable. If you have diligently smoothed over that pitting so that you run your fingernail over it and your fingernail isn't catching on it, and use a good quality fork seal, you'll be fine. And just keep on top of them. What does that mean? Get WD-40 on a rag and just wipe them over. Wipe them over once in a while and keep on top of it so that the rust can't attack it any further. So you'll be all right. But yeah, it sounds like your fork seals have gone. It was the sharpness on the pitting that took them out. Doesn't matter that you got pitting now as long as it's smooth. So there you go, Dan. Ta-da, possum.
All right, Neil, you got one there?
Yeah, this is from Stephanie from Bikes Built Better in
Hey, Stephanie.
Horsham, Pennsylvania. Hello again, Misfits. So this is S100 talk.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hello again, Misfits. The one S100 product I use a lot is the corrosion protectives. When I bought a brand new 1997 Buell Thunderbolt, I lived about 100 feet from the Atlantic Ocean, and our bikes were housed in an old office trailer, which was not much protection from the salt air. We kind of have that problem here, too, in Santa Cruz. I was horrified to see the new Buell's engine covers were not even clear-coated. They were just semi-polished, naked aluminum. Ooh. That bike would be covered in white corrosion before the weekend.
Surely you mean aluminium, darling.
Aluminum. Webster tells us so. My then boss, Tom Nelson at Rolling Thunder Cycles, grabbed a can of the S100 corrosion protectant off the shelf and told me to spray it all over any exposed aluminum or steel. So I did. Sprayed where there was room, wiped it on the harder to reach bits. We lived at that house for 3 more years. I would respray the bike after I washed it, maybe twice a year, and the exposed metal on that Buell never corroded.
Nice.
Truly miraculous stuff. That corrosion protectant.
Good tip.
Yeah,
cool. Fantastic. Well,
tip from Stephanie.
Dan, if you can get that stuff in Australia, give it a whirl. How about that?
Yeah.
All right, Scottie.
I've got one here from David Harrison. Hello, Misfits. I really enjoy your podcast each week. I want to share a story that might help others stay safe. For the past year, I've been turning a BMW K1100 LT touring bike.
Oh, this is a good-looking bike they're building.
Yeah, this is a good build. I've been turning it into a custom cafe brat-style thing. Mechanically, it was done, and I was excited to take it around the block before focusing on some aesthetic touches. I noticed it was hard to push off of the lift and even roll down the driveway. I thought that would clear up while riding. Well, 3/4 of the way around the neighborhood, rounding a corner, the front brake locked up.
Oh, bugger.
And I went down. Probably doing around 25 miles an hour. Thankfully, I'd put on my leather, armored jacket, helmet, and some mechanics gloves. And I was wearing pants, too. Hard to believe how violent a crash it was going that slow. At 60 years old, I don't bounce like I used to. Shoulder and hip and hand all swollen, but pretty sure no brakes. A road rash on my knee. The bike is scraped a bit and the fairing is cracked, but all that can be fixed. My takeaway is 2 things. 1, listen to your bike. If it seems off, don't ride it. Figure it out what's going on. And if I had just slowed down and looked, I would have seen the front brakes, which had been rebuilt, and were not letting the disc run freely. When the bike crashed, the front calipers were smoking, and I knew it was taking more throttle than it should. Totally my fault for wanting to ride more than I wanted to listen to the bike. And 2, always wear your gear. I've many times run a bike around the block in a t-shirt and no helmet, and I've been in the ER if that were the case yesterday. Please gear up, even for a short test ride. And now, after a 50-year love of riding motorcycles, I admit maybe it's time to call it done. This wreck was completely preventable if I had listened to the bike. Be safe out there, gear up, and listen to your bikes.
Well,
Dave. Thanks, Dave.
Well, I agree with absolutely everything Dave says, except for suggesting that he gives up riding.
Yeah, I got
Yeah,
5
I don't
years
get
on
that
you, dude.
part.
I'm still doing it. So
Yeah, nonsense, David. And that's a beautiful bike. So what do we learn from this? Listen to the bike. And
Yep.
it's always hard. You build a
It's
bike
pretty.
so you get into every nook and cranny. And some things need aligning, So, tra-la-la.
And his point about checking the bike is really important, because you can check it the easy way, and if you notice something is wrong, go back, put it back on the lift, try and figure it out, or find out the hard way by going out and riding it anyway.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's not a good way to do it.
I think one of the interesting
Sure.
things was the takeaway there to check your bike and listen to it, figure out what's going on before you ride it for a test ride,
Yeah,
is the same thing that Hawk was teaching
Yeah,
Freya.
exactly.
exactly.
Well, I've never made a secret of it. I was a commercial driver for many, many years. And every time you take a commercial vehicle out, you perform a pre-trip. And
Yep.
especially if you're driving a passenger vehicle like I did, it's a very, very comprehensive pre-trip. And it takes you about half an hour. And you go over every fine-tooth comb of that coach, and you make sure it's safe for operation, including bleeding down the brakes. It's part of your pre-trip inspection. Now, you don't need to be that diligent on a motorcycle, but every time you go out, if you habitually just, kick your heel into the tires, are they inflated? Do your brakes feel squishy? Do your forks bounce up and down? Do your brakes actually bloody work? Stuff like that. It literally is a couple of minutes, and it could save your life. I always say, when I get a lot of beginner motorcyclists come down the shop, and I've got this thing going, I've figured out people love being given stuff. So if people buy a couple of tires from me, I'll give them a tire pressure gauge. And I say, don't let it fester in your pocket. Build a routine for you. Because the most successful motorcyclist is the one who builds routines. When should you check your tire pressures? Well, every time you go out might not be practical. So how about every time you fill up? Just check your tire pressures. Keep the tire pressure gauge with your bike. Fill up the bike, check your pressures. And and that puts you light years ahead of people who haven't checked their pressures for years.
Perfect. All right, Bagel, you got one there?
Yeah. So I've got an email here from Patreon John from Maryland.
Hey, John.
Says, "Hey, Misfits, John from Maryland."
Hang on, that's not a Maryland accent.
That's Maryland. I used to live in Delaware.
Well,
I know what a Maryland accent sounds like. But John from Maryland. But I've got ancestors from Ireland. If Bagel wants to entertain us with his skillet accents.
Oh, yes. Oh, no, it's like you're in Dublin right now in a seedy bar.
Sucking down a fresh Guinness.
Now, I'd like to hear a follow-up from Bagel, who mentioned a couple of shows ago that he'd taken a welding class and bought a TIG machine. So, Bagel, are you working on welding steel or aluminum or both? Do you have specific projects in mind? Where did you find the class and how'd it go? Did you find that watching a silent DC arc melt metal might be as amazing as watching a new planet form?
Well, then it'd be transparent aluminum.
Haven't gotten to that yet, but I have only been working on steel. I've been taking a class at the local community college here, where I've been taking MIG welding. I just bought the TIG and haven't. I need to get a welding table so I can do a proper setup to start practicing with it. Because so far all I've done is melt a piece of aluminum, just practicing it out and almost starting a fire. so I need a proper setup, and I'm working on that. But welding class at the community college is going great. I'm really enjoying it. I was doing overhead MIG welds this week. That is particularly challenging. But I was getting the hang of it by the end of the day. So that was a cool feeling to be able to progress, because in the beginning of the day doing overhead welds, it was just really it was the most challenging position yet that I've had to do. But by the end of the day, I was figured it out, and I was just laying down beads, and it wasn't the prettiest, but I was getting the hang of it.
Are you letting the spatter trim your beard from beneath the helmet?
No, I've got a nice face shield on, so it's not trimming my beard. It's burned some holes in my my clothes, but that's okay. They were meant to do that. So
I remember my first welding teacher when I was in like 8th grade, I think, or 9th grade. I was like, well, that weld looks like a dog with diarrhea that's running while shitting.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I got time.
But it's
yeah.
Yeah, but I just to say it's all in practice and learning how to move the heat and it's almost like you're painting with the metal at times. It's really cool once you get into it. So
cool.
But and I do have lots of projects in mind, but I know get into those in time.
All right, got time for one more, and Emma, I need you to pay attention on this one.
I'm paying attention, darling.
This one is titled "Weirdo on the Way."
Welcome.
Yeah. And it says, "Hey, Misfits, this is Eric from Cleveland. I've been listening for a number of years, and I'm even caught up on the old and moldy episodes from the beginning. Love the show. Better than another show we know."
Oh, fantastic.
Not calling out names.
Oh.
Obligatory mention of Norman Reedus. I'm writing to say I'm coming out for a visit in May. I'm doing the Builtwell El Diablo run the weekend of May 2nd through 4th.
Wait, the accent.
Yeah, this is the Cleveland accent. I know that is the weekend of the Portland 1 show. So anyway, it's the second time I'm doing it, and it's a hell of a lot of stupid biker shit fun in San Felipe on the Baja Peninsula. Leaving the Monday after, I'm taking 2 days to ride up the coast to Santa Cruz. I should get there on Tuesday, 5/6, so May 6th. My wife is flying out to meet me, and then we plan on doing some touristy stuff. But if anyone from the podcast is interested in going for a ride or showing me the cool stuff, please reach out to me. He rides a new Harley Road King, but don't let that dissuade you. I traded in my 100,000 mile Harley Softail Slim that I rode like my hair is on fire and my ass is catching up, pushing it to its scrapey, sparky limits. We plan on coming to visit the garage on that Sunday, and I'll bring some surprises.
Ooh.
I promise I'm not a Harley douchebag, even though I do dress like a pirate when I ride. I hope I don't sound like too much of a twit. I'm just excited to meet everyone, and the written word seems so stilted. Anyway, live to ride, ride to eat. So,
welcome to the party.
I was gonna say, but I'll let you extend this invitation. If Eric is coming on a day when the garage isn't open, should Eric drop by Mototown?
He can, and if I'm not too busy, because that's really the beginning of my season, I will pull something fruity out of the workshop, and we can take a ride down Highway 1 to Big Sur and back, which is an enormously fun ride.
Ooh, did you hear that, Eric? So best thing to do, Eric, when you're up in the area, just send us some emails. Say, hey, Misfits, I'm here. What up?
And you can look me up on the Googler. My shop is called Moto Town.
You won't pay more elsewhere.
You won't pay more elsewhere.
But they only work on foreign and domestic bikes.
That is my specialty. Only foreign and domestic.
I would, I had hosted the race party at my house for the first GP today. Mm-hmm. And Kat came down for the races, and he asked me if I could put a plug in for him.
Sure.
Is that all right? He says there's a free upgrade on the Layout Escapes Julian Alps Tripinar. Are you doing that one?
I am not doing the Julian Alps one.
Okay. Well, he says you can get a new 1300 GS, and the code is Misfits 1300. So if you sign up with Kat on his website for this one, and you use that code, you get a free upgrade to like this brand new
right.
BMW.
Which I've ridden a couple of them. They're enormously good bikes. So that is a very, very good upgrade. I'm absolutely locked in for the Dolomites, of course. That's our signature trip. And Tuscany I shall be doing, and the Pyrenees I shall be doing.
Cool.
But Keith Culver is doing the Julian Alps.
Cool.
So you will be getting the one-on-one instruction with Keith. That's all thrown in. It's an amazing trip. I wish I could do them all, but I can't do all of them because I got to earn a living.
Have you seen Keith Culver's profile picture with those glasses?
Yeah.
No.
He pisses excellence, just so you know.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, those glasses, that's all it says. It's a statement.
Mike, I wanted to thank you for bringing Freya down. And Freya, thank you for coming, for filling us in, because we've all of us who know you, we've been watching like your videos. Your dad posts a lot of videos and pictures. And I have to say, you have excellent form and you look really good in your leather tracksuit too.
Yeah, Belden's a big fan also.
Yeah.
Okay.
So thank you for coming down, Mike. Thank you for bringing Hawk on. He's a cool dude. And just perfect example. If anyone wants to, Sophia, if you want to take another riding class,
That would be really cool.
going somewhere like that, or
Yeah, it's
if you want to put
amazing.
your kids in there,
The ranch
it's a great place to go.
is amazing up there. And if you're going to go, I'd spend like the night somewhere. Get as much time as you can because, it's probably one of the best instructions I've done. And it's not just because I'm friends with them, but like really watching Freya's growth throughout one day I was like giddy. I sent him a picture the other day and I was like, proud dad, dude. I'm so stoked. And he's like, yeah, I saw it too. So, yeah.
Nice.
Well, check the show notes. I'll put link to the Pakistan trip. I'll put a link to the Layout Escape trip. So I'll put a link to Hawk Mazzotta's trip. I've got a link to our rally.
Mission Mini Cup.
Yeah, I put a link to our rally. It's all in there. Or you can go to motorcyclesandmisfits.com. You can get the shirts there, and just kind of see where we're going to be. I updated our calendar, and I think that's pretty much it. Send us your emails. Keep them coming. Send them to motorcyclesandmisfits@gmail.com. Freya, do you have any last words to say before we sign out?
And stuff.
Perfect. You are.
That's my girl.
You are your daddy's girl. All right, Freya, there's only one thing left you have to do, and all you have to do when I point at you is say your name, okay? Are you ready? Okay. All right, thanks, everyone. It's time to get out of here. This is Liza.
It's Neil.
Scottie.
Emma, darling.
Me.
Mr. Miranda.
Sophia?
Bagel.
And we are out of here.
Cool.